To give up, you have to be dead, or completely incapacitated.
Previously on Ready Not to Die Right Now. TCP. Transmission Control Protocol. TCP Header. And now. User Datagram Protocol. UDP. But first agenda. Agenda for today. Nothing. Haha. Now but. Cisco ccna. Python Basics. DevOps Maven maybe again? Agronoms. Going to skip the trader. Now but. I don't always read the meeting agenda, but when I do it always says. Intranet. Now but. UDP is used by applications that are not concerned with ensuring that the data reaches the destination system aka host. UDP is used for connectionless communication, unreliable, which means that data is sent to the destination and no effort is made to track the progress of the packet or determine whether it has reached the destination. Like TCP now, but also UDP uses port number to identify different types of UDP traffic. Now but. UDP port 53 is used for DNS queries. UDP port 67 and 68 is used by the DHCP AHA Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. aka 67 is used for DHCP and 68 is used by client request. UDP port 69 is Trivial File Transfer Protocol and used to upload or download file without requiring authentication. UDP port 137 and 138 are used by NetBIOS Name Service and Datagram Service. UDP port 161 is used by Simple Network Management Protocol aka SNMP. Now but. These are just some popular UDP port. Now but. UDP header. Because UDP does not have to acknowledge the receipt of a packet, the structure of the UDP header is much simpler than that of the TCP header. UDP does not need sequence number or ACK number. It does not need flags to indicate special packets such as a SYN message, because there is no three-way handshake. So now but UDP header includes source port, destination port, length, checksum. Boom boom. Now but. Python but. Python, a tool, not a reptile but a hobby programming project. The circumstances in which Python was created are a bit puzzling. According to Guido van Rossum in December 1989, he was looking for a hobby programming project that would keep him occupied during the week around Christmas. His office would be closed, but he had a computer, and not much else on his hands. He decided to write an interpreter for new scripting language he had been thinking about lately. A descendant of ABC that would appeal to unique C hackers. He chose Python as a working title for the project, being in a slightly irreverent mood and a big fan of whatever Python flying circus shit. Now but. Python goals. In 1999, Guido van Rossum defined his goals for Python. An easy and intuitive language just as powerful as those of the major competitors. Yeah right, like every damn project in the observable universe. I like Cosmos by the way. But why Sun? Maybe there is something to it? Next. Open source, so anyone can contribute to its development. Next, code that is as understandable as plain English. Next. Suitable for everyday tasks, allowing for short development times. So now but. About 20 years later, it is clear that all these intentions have been fulfilled. Yeah really? I don't see it like that, but maybe. Some sources say that Python. What sources? Cite your sources. That Python is the most popular. Here we go. Most popular programming language in the world, while others claim it is the second or the third. Either way, it still occupies a high rank in the top of the popularity of programming languages and the TIAB Programming Community Index. Python is not a young language anymore. It is mature and trustworthy. It is not a one-hit wonder. It is bright star in the programming firmament, and time spent learning Python is a very good investment. Really son, now but DevOps what? I do not know. Operating system threads. Boom. What is thread? A thread is a path of execution within a process. A process can contain multiple threads. Okay, so? Why multi-threading? A thread is also known as lightweight process. The idea is to achieve parallelism by dividing a process into multiple threads. Example, in a browser, multiple tabs can be different threads. MS Word uses multiple threads, aka in one thread to format the text, another thread to process inputs, etc. More advantages of multi-threading to come. So now process versus thread. What is up? The primary difference is that threads within the same process run in a shared memory space, while processes run in separate memory space. Threads are not independent of one another like processes are, and as a result threads share with other threads their code section, data section, and OS resources, like open files and signals. But, like processes, a thread has its own program counter, PC, register set, and stack space. So. What are the advantages of threads of processes? First, responsiveness. If the process is divided into multiple threads, if one thread completes its execution, then its output can immediately be returned. Second, faster context switch. Context switch time between threads is lower compared to process context switch. Process context switching requires more overhead from the CPU. Third, effective utilization or multiprocessor system. If we have multiple threads in a single process, then we schedule multiple threads on multiple processor. This will make process execution faster. Fourth, resource sharing. Resources like code, data, and files can be shared among all threads within a process. Note that stack and registers cannot be shared among the threads. Each thread has its own stack and registers. Fifth, communication. Communication between multiple threads is easier, as the threads shares common address space, while in the process we have to follow some specific communication technique for communication between two process. Sixth, enhanced throughput of the system. If a process is divided into multiple threads, and each thread function is considered as one job, then the number of jobs completed per unit of time is increased, thus increasing the throughput of a system. Now type of threads. There are two types of threads. First, user-level threads. Second, kernel-level thread. Boom. Fin, now agronom day 20. NDR, non-delivery receipt. NetBEUI, Network Basic Input or Output Extended User Interface. NetBIOS, Network Basic Input or Output System. NFC, Near Field Communication. NFS, Network File Service. NGFW, Next Generation Firewall. NIC, Network Interface Card. NIDS, Network Intrusion Detection System. NIPS, Network Intrusion Prevention System. NIU, Network Interface Unit. Okay. But? Your butt. Is there anything else? Maybe universe? 20 million miles. The goddess of love. Venus. Morning star and evening star. She can welcome new day in the east and say good night in the west. A sister to our planet, she is about the same size and gravity as Earth. We should be safe here. But her dazzling clouds are made of sulfuric acid. Her atmosphere is choking with carbon dioxide. Venus is one angry goddess. The pressure is unbearable. Temperatures approaching 900 degrees. Nothing can survive on Venus. So lovely from Earth, but up close this goddess is hideous. She is the sister from hell with thousands of volcanoes. Boom.
Love gets the best of us. Yeah, I got feelings, but I'm a tough one sometimes.